Welcome back to Doing Bart Things. This is Bart, and today, or actually I should say for this video, we're going to talk about the RTX 4060 rumor mill. They got the specs out there. So, um, let's hop right in. This is why we're talking about this. If you look at the specs here, and this is off of videocards.com, and the this is not the only place I've seen this. I think the rumors as far as what these cards will be like has been out there for a while. Obviously, we don't have any performance numbers yet, but we can make some assumptions. If you look at the 4070 Ti and the 4070, you can see here how much cut down the 4070 is from the 4070 Ti, and the 4070 has the same amount of cores as the 3070. Performance wise, it lined up right at the 3070 Ti slash 3080 level roughly, and they traded blows. And this debuted for $600. So basically, it is a 3080. If you have anything last gen, or maybe even the gen before that, honestly, there's no reason to buy this video card. The only thing I could think of was if you needed a low wattage, low heat card to stuff into a mini ITX rig, this might be a fix for you, because the cards themselves are physically very small as well. But at $599, you're going to pay the price for it, and this card, performance-wise, not good. The sales figures from last week show that when they released this card, it absolutely flopped. There's tons of them in stock everywhere. Even the partner cards that have the really cool, well, I say really cool, the upgraded coolers and fancy stuff from the AIB partners, they're reducing their prices. A lot of those are now down to the MSRP of $599. So they can't even upcharge for those cards. And I think what we're going to see is very soon, this $599 price is going to go down because they just will not sell. Because there is no reason to buy one. nobody is going to be out there looking to replace their 3080, 3070, or 3060 with something that is essentially the same level of performance. Just doesn't make any sense. And then pay more for it. It's anyway. So this is a big old flop. One of the biggest flops we've had in a long time. However, I don't think it's going to keep its place on the throne very long as the biggest flop. If we move over to the rumor mill for the 4060, okay, so 3060 Ti, 3060, 4060 Ti, 4060. Look at how cut down these 4060s actually are. I mean, so the 4070 had 5888 CUDA cores, and we kind of know the performance of this approximately, right? 4352 and 3072. They have less cores than the outgoing models. Less. They're so cut down. They have a higher frequency clock, which is obviously where they plan on making up some of that. But as we've seen with these cards, yeah, it doesn't quite make up the difference, right? And I don't think it's going to make up the difference here, and I think that these are going to flop worse because literally the same amount of VRAM. There's a 12 gig version of 3060, which honestly may even do better. I suspect this card may even beat some of the 4060 sometimes. The bus, Jesus, like they cut the bus massively. Bandwidth is down. Less cores. The board power is down, but I mean, yeah, because you cut it down so far, right? This is supposed to be a more efficient architecture, but again, you cut it off, you cut its knees off. I mean, it's like they're so cut down. They are so cut down. They won't even do X16 on the PCIe slot. They're times 8. So, what's the verdict? Or what do I think is going to happen? I see nothing at this moment that makes me believe these cards will be anything but a massive flop. Um, Honestly, I think the previous gen is going to prove in some ways to be better than these cards. They're going to trade blows, just like the 4070 did with the 3080. But I think this is going to be even worse. Um, and they're going to be overpriced. I can guarantee that. They're probably going to be this card. If this Ti model releases for anything over, uh, I mean, 350 bucks, it's gonna fall flat on its face, and everybody's gonna laugh at it. Um, and even then, I'm not sure. Like, we're gonna have to see performance numbers, but I don't see how this is gonna match up. It just, these two cards are dead on arrival. Um, if I were AMD or Intel, I would be frothing at the mouth right now. Frothing at the mouth. Um, Intel has been very releasing drivers and upgrading the performance on their GPUs, the ARC series, for a bit now, and don't see any reason why they can't continue to do so. They may not boost their performance of their GPUs much more, but their support through drivers and stuff has been coming around nicely, and I think that I think these cards, they are so blah that they're going to open the door for a lot of people who would not have considered options. Even hardcore Nvidia fanboys are going to have to realize and come to the conclusion that, like, Nvidia just does not care. That they want to make their big money on the top end parts, and they do not care about getting market share. They've already got the market share, so now it's what can they juice out of the market, right? And I think that's what we're going to see with these cards, because I think I'd be willing to bet dollars to donuts they're probably going to price this like, let's see, what's the 4070? $599. So this will probably be $499. I can't even imagine. If they do that, there will be pitchforks. So $499 and then $399, right? Would be my guess. They need to release this at like $299 and $199, or something obscenely cheap to make it like, okay, now this is, legit, like they're competing in the same space. But I don't think they're going to do it. And I say that cheap because, again, I don't think this is going to beat this card. Like, I think they're going to be very close. And the result of that is, I mean, you've got ARC out there and the 6600 and 6700 AMD cards competing very well against these cards. So how do you think they're going to compete against these? They're going to do just fine. I mean, we're getting to a point where the wattage, it's like, okay, they're lower power. Woo, it doesn't matter. When you're talking so low that you just need a 6-pin almost, like to run that card, I think. 6-pin, 50 watts, 50 and 75. Maybe you need a little bit, maybe you still need an 8-pin. But just no, not good. Not good at all. So I think these are going to be a massive flop. And I think in comparison to these, I think Intel and AMD have an opportunity against these cards to pick up some market share, because these are the ones that people put in their little esports rigs. They put them in 1080p gaming machines that are just there for their kids. Like, I think Nvidia is going to sleep here a bit because they're just all jazzed up about their 4090s and stuff like that, and they're about to really get hammered. The 4090 legitimately is the only card out of the 40 series lineup that has some sort of value because it's the fastest thing out there. And it's still way overpriced, but at the least, you can say it is unquestionably the highest end graphics card you can get your hands on. The 4080, massively overpriced. The 4080 4070 Ti, massively overpriced. And the prices on them have dropped, and the 4080 is dropping. Hell, the 4090 is pretty much available at MSRP, mostly all over now, but its sales have slowed. And what I think is going to happen is Nvidia is going to, don't mark my words on it, but I think they're going to go to Computex at the end of May. They're going to announce a 4090 Ti model, something like that, and then they will use that opportunity to go, hey, we're going to shift everything down in price a little bit, and then we'll finally get something appropriating a more appropriate price across the entire lineup. But what they're going to do is they're going to release these things at the beginning of May. They're going to get the early adopters to pay this ridiculous $450, $500 price tag for this Ti 460, $399 or whatever it is for this 460 non-Ti model, Ti model, and then they will shuffle the stack starting at the very top at the end of May, going into June, and allow that to eventually trickle down to these cards. It is just, they just do not care, man. They really don't care. We're Nvidia, we're going to take your money because you only buy Nvidia. Like, this is, if I were an Nvidia fanboy, I would be really upset right now. I've bought plenty of Nvidia cards. I've got a 3080 running right now, so I'm using. I'm very happy with it, and I'm going to continue to be happy with it because I'm not going to buy this. Even if I had the money, and I wanted to get a 4080 or 4090, I don't think I would. I just, it's too much. This isn't supposed to be, people are not supposed to have to pay used car prices to build a computer if they don't want to. And it's getting to the point now where if you want something that's a top flight machine, and when I say top flight, I'm talking top flight gaming machine. I'm not talking about a workstation where somebody's doing some crazy stuff. Nah, I'm talking about Joe Plumber who wants to come home after a really hard day of work and go kill some demons, like on some digital demons. He wants to play his games. But he wants, it's his hobby and he wants it to be nice. He shouldn't be getting ripped off this much at every single level by Nvidia, I don't think. But it's a free market. Nvidia is going to do what Nvidia is going to do, and I think Intel and AMD are going to do what they do. I think the 7800 series of video cards are going to be very compelling because of this, as well as the 7700 series. And I think, again, Intel's Arc is just sitting out there, and they're pretty cost effective, like $250, $300. If you can find you a 16 gig one, the drivers have really come a long way. I don't know, man. I just don't think that these are going to be very competitive. So, anyway, that's it for now. I will obviously keep abreast of the situation when they release. Let's see. In May, obviously, I'll try to have some commentary on it. But if you're waiting for the 4060s to come in and be a good deal, I would not bother. Everybody have a great day. Leave a like and subscribe if you would. I'm trying to come out with videos more often, and this is a decidedly low rent production, but we're going to try to up our production value as time goes on, and try to spread hopefully some knowledge or helpful advice that is very pro-consumer for you guys out there, because I want everybody to enjoy themselves, build the system that they want, and genuinely speaking, not hopefully fall for some of the shenanigans that these companies are pulling. So anyway, thank you guys. Have a great day.